everyone, it's Ariel. Welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to be showing you how you can cut your hair at home. So as you can see, my hair is definitely due for a trim. It's so fine and just dead on the ends. It definitely needs to be cut, and so I thought I would just show you guys how I do it at home, and seeing as all the salons are closed, I figured this might be helpful for some of you. So first I'll show you what you need. So definitely a good pair of scissors. These are professional shears, so make sure you have a good pair of scissors. Like, don't try to use kitchen scissors or anything that's really dull. So a good pair of scissors, a couple of clips, or you can use just elastic bends too. And then the last thing is a comb. And I also have a cape on, which you don't need. It's just to protect my clothes from getting covered in hair. But for starters, you want to make sure that your hair is parted where you usually part it. So if you usually part your hair in the middle, make sure it's parted there. Otherwise, yeah, this is where I part my hair usually. Since my hair is so fine, I'm going to take probably a bigger section than most people would do. So I'm probably going to end up doing 3 sections altogether for the ends of my hair. So yeah, I'm taking a section just above my ear, and I just use my fingers to part it. I didn't make it too specific or too perfect. And then just clipping this hair out of the way. I don't have a chair, so I'm sorry if I'm like all over the place. Okay, so now you want to take your comb and your scissors, and what I'm going to do is part this section in the middle so that I have 2 sides to work with. And then I'm just going to comb this down, and then I'm going to take, go about there, and then just go underneath your finger. Oh my goodness, sorry, I don't have a mirror, so I'm using the camera as a mirror. This might get interesting, but yeah, just go underneath your finger. Nice clean line. Oh, it looks so much better. And then just do the same thing on the other side. I'm pretty sure my 2 sides are not even, so this side might be the longer one, I can't remember. So same thing. Just make sure you're kind of getting it the same. You want them to be even, of course. Okay, so then, oh, look how much better. Okay, so then moving on to the next section. So just take this down, and then like I said, I'm going to do 3 sections. Oh, there's somebody walking by looking at me. Okay, so second section, just again with your fingers. So I'm going to go about eyebrow this time. Just use both fingers, meet them in the middle, and then just clip this out of the way. Comb it, make sure it's all the tangles are out. And if you have thicker hair than me, you might want to take smaller sections, because if you take too big of a section, you won't be able to see this line underneath. So you want to make sure that you can see that line of hair that you just cut. So take a small enough section that you can see that line underneath. Again, I just split it in the middle at the back, and now I'm just going to go right over that. Kind of hard to see without a mirror. Way better. Oh my goodness. I don't even remember the last time I had a haircut. Okay, so it's the same thing. Make sure you can see that line. Also, make sure you're keeping your head straight. I'm kind of moving around a lot right now. But if you move your head this way and then cut, you might end up having one side way shorter than the other. So make sure your head is straight all times. So just match that up. And then I always like to comb after it too, just to make sure I didn't miss any hairs. That one kind of sticking out there. Just fix that up. some funky pieces here. Now, this should be the last section. Readjust here. I'm also going to be adding in some layers after this, so finish this section first. Oh, this is so thin. There's barely anything to cut off of this section. So again, you can see that line underneath. There's that hair under that you just cut. So with your finger, oh, my head isn't straight. Like that. So, I feel like I've got a little bit of length issue here. So I'm gonna take a little bit more off of this side just so it matches up. I'm not talking, I'm focused. Now that we've got the base done, I'm going to add some layers in. If you don't want layers, you could just leave it like this. Nice blunt look, it's nice too. I just want to cut, like, I have so much damage in, like, inside my hair, so I want to just trim off wherever I can to get it back to good health. I'm actually going to use my comb for this part. So I'm going to go from where my part is. I'm going to go from there down the side to my ear. Hopefully you can see that. And I'm going to clip this front section out of the way. So we're going to be working on the back first. And then the same thing on this side. Don't judge my unstraight lines. And clip this side. Come up closer. Okay, so now I'm taking a small section from the back. So not too big, just like that. I'm gonna comb that up, and this is how you start your layer. So comb that up, and then I'm gonna take about the same amount, so I'll try to do kind of 2-3 inches somewhere in there. About that. Well, a little bit more. Okay, and then cut that right above your finger. Like, you can see how thin that hair is. It really needed to come off. You should be just pulling this straight up. I'm kind of moving it differently so I can see what I'm doing. But just pull it straight up and then just cut one nice straight line across the top. Oh, it feels so much better. When I put it down, that's where my layer is. So now what I'm gonna do is take a section from the middle here. So kind of a 1-inch section, I would say, and go all the way down to the very back of your neck. You're going to comb that up, and then you're gonna cut, oh, I can't see anything. Okay, so try to see where that piece is that you just cut, and cut it kind of at an angle. Let's see. So that's the piece that I just cut, and I want to cut that to match the end here. So I'm going to cut it straight across like this. Okay, and then let that go. So now I have layers in the middle section, and then I'm just going to keep taking sections until I reach the end of each side. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. Also, when you pull it up, you'll have hairs that fall back down, which is good. That's actually what you want, because these are the hairs from the perimeter of your hair, and these are the hairs from the layers. So you actually don't want to cut any of this. You just want to cut at the very closest right up to it, but yeah, you don't want to cut any of that off. You can kind of see, like, that's where that first layer is, and that's where the end is of the pieces that dropped. So I'm gonna cut that straight across.
That's good.
I don't know how well you can see, but it feels so much better. So now we're gonna move on to the front. And it's a good idea to always start on the side with less hair. So if you're parting it in the middle, this doesn't really matter, but if you're parting it on the side, you should always start with the side that has less hair. If that makes sense. I want to blend those layers that we just cut into the front section. So what I'm going to do is take a section from the front and a section from the back that you just cut, comb that up, and it's good, so cut that off. Seems like a lot, but I'm just gonna go for it. Okay, middle section. So for this section, you want to be really careful because you can end up taking like a big chunk out of your front piece. You don't want that. What you want to do is pull this kind of back instead of, whereas the other ones we went straight, but this one you want to go back. So kind of off your face, just to make sure you don't end up with any holes at the front. And cut that off. So you can kind of see where those layers are now. Yeah, so you can see this is the shortest one here, and then they just gradually get a little bit longer all the way down. And now we're just gonna do this front side. So now I've got all those layers in there. Got the perimeter, the ends trimmed. Oh, it looks so much better. Feels so much better. So the last thing I'm gonna do, I think it's the last thing anyway. I'm gonna clean up my bang section. So I'm going to pull everything forward. And I'm going to take a section, can't see, about that big. Again, just using my fingers. That's actually too big, a little bit less. And so I'm going to just take about the same amount I've been taking off, so 2 inches or so, 2 or 3 inches. And I'm gonna start in the middle. And instead of doing it straight this time, I'm kind of just chunking it, pointing into it. And that'll just prevent me from having any harsh lines at the front of my face. So now that I have that kind of baseline cut out, I can split my hair, and then you should have one of each of those pieces on both sides. So now you can go in, again, start on the side with less hair, and then find that one you just cut, which is right there. And I'm just gonna lightly dust that off. Again, you'll have to be more precise if your hair is thicker than mine, but my hair is so thin and damaged. There's not much there. So we have that nice angle, and just keep going down until you get to the end. And so you can see this is the longest part here. I don't want to really go past that, because if I go too much into here, you'll end up with like a weird kind of hole. So I'm just gonna start there. I'm not gonna go past it. And just kind of pointing into it, not taking any harsh cuts out. Okay, so now this side. Again, there's the piece I just cut. Just gonna blend it in. Okay, that's good. So I think I did it without a mirror. It's nicely layered. All the dead ends are gone. Feels so much better. My hair definitely needed that. Okay, so I hope this was helpful. I feel like this video was a mess. If you try to cut your hair at home, let me know. Yeah, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time for another video. Bye.